much water does a camel actually drink? That's what we'll be answering in this Camel Q&A.
This is the Camel Connection podcast.
Welcome to our weekly Camel Q&A.
This is where you ask a camel question and we answer it.
I'm Tara.
And I'm Russell. And together, with other camel experts, we answer your camel questions. Well, hi everyone.
Welcome back. What is this one? Q&A.
Q&A. Yeah.
Oh,
Q&A.
we do so many podcasts. It's great. We love it. We love sharing this info with you.
Yeah, no, there's, heaps of questions have come in and really, really good questions. No question's a dumb question, especially if you don't know it and you want to know the answer. No one was born with these answers. I mean, we're only born upside down and naked, and that's about it.
And sometimes it's the obvious thing, like this one, how much water does a camel drink? And to us, we wouldn't think to ask that because we know. So, yeah, it helps you guys asking questions for sure. And you can do that over our website.
All right. So, I assume we're talking about in a drinking session, a drinking sitting.
Well, we're talking about it all in a matter of 15 minutes.
Right.
So, like, we're talking about desert environments, we're talking about domesticated environments where they have access to water all the time.
Okay. So
this is your expertise, so...
Wow, where do we start? Because actually, it's much more complicated than what people realise.
That's right, exactly.
And that's why it's a really good question.
So why is it so complicated?
Righto. Well, the physiology of the camel, they are totally designed. Every single thing about the camel is designed it's designed for water retention.
Yes.
Everything about the camel, its skin, its fur, its body shape, where the fat is located, its blood, its bladder, its urine, its gut system, its eyes, its nose. The whole thing is designed to maximise water retention. Mm-hmm. Now, this is where the question really gets quite complicated.
Okay.
All right. So, a lot of people ask me this question.
Yeah, I get it all the time too.
Yeah. And the short answer to give can be anywhere between, it depends on the size of the camel, of course, and, mature camel. But the short answer would be, let's say, in between 100 and 150 litres.
What, a day?
In the one sitting.
In the one sitting. So that, from my understanding, that circumstance is more like a camel that's been without water for a few days.
Right. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's only a maybe. Now, you can actually train your camel into accepting a large volume of water, knowing that it's going to be for quite some period of time without water. You can actually get your camel trained into that.
So for an example, if you've got a camel in a paddock or yards or whatever that has access to water all the time, that camel more likely is in the habit of drinking every day.
Absolutely.
But if you're deciding to go on a long journey with the camels or what have you, you can wean them off the water.
Yep. Train their body to retain the water better, much more efficiently.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just a procedure. It takes a little bit of effort, but not a great deal. But it's the sort of knowledge of the physiology of the camel and how their body retains water and how their body releases water as well, that you can actually achieve that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I can tell you that, in my experience, there was a period of time when I was out there in the desert, 10 days of trekking in high 40 degree Celsius heat in between water. And I trained the camels prior to that little stint, that little leg of a journey I was doing. And I trained their bodies so that's the last sitting that they had, they sucked up as much as what they possibly could, so that they made that rather treacherous journey. And yes, they were thirsty by the time we got to a well, and thank goodness that well was there. But you can actually train your camel. Now, there are a number of factors which do determine for the more domesticated camel, how much water they're going to drink. Okay?
Yes.
Now, as you mentioned, if water's available every day, they'll drink every day. But also what you have to consider is the food. Okay, what sort of food is it? Is it really quite succulent food that has a lot of moisture in it? Like, a lot of the desert plants are actually water miser plants, meaning that they retain water and moisture. So as the camel's eating those plants, then they're actually receiving a lot of liquid into their body.
And also a dewy morning, because they absorb moisture through their nostrils as well.
Yeah, and they'll eat the plants in the morning that have got the dew on it, that sort of thing.
So I find our camels in the winter drink less water.
Absolutely.
Maybe once every...
Temperature.
See them down at the dam the water hole every 2 days or something like that.
Yeah. Temperature also is a factor. So in the colder climates, it's less... there's less of a need for the camel to replace water, but in the hotter, environments or hotter days, then their tendency would be to go to water more often. All right, it's just like us, yes. The camels, of course, the one thing that is really cool about them is that they can raise their body temperature by, up to 15 degrees, I believe it is. All right. But at night time, this is where they will go ahead and cool themselves down by sitting in such a manner that any breeze is going underneath their stomach, and that is where they sweat at night. Right? So they try to retain as much water during the day when they really need it, but at night they're trying to reduce that temperature, the body temperature down, and so there's water loss.
Incredible animals.
So even though you might not see your camels sweating during the day and all that sort of thing, but their body temperature might be being raised, but they're needing to cool themselves down, so they're actually losing just that little bit. But it's an efficient loss of water for the purpose of lowering their temperature.
Yeah.
So, there's sort of like the short and curly of the answer.
Did you want to explain a little bit?
Short and curly, sorry. Don't know where I came up with that one.
Did you want to cover briefly about why they can drink such large volumes of water?
Now this is really cool again, look, yes, they can, imagine trying, our body weight, okay, say a camel's around about 700 kilograms, so a big, camel. And I'm close to 100, I suppose. So 7 of me.
You're close to 100.
Oh, no, I'm just giving an example.
I'm like, whoa, you put on some weight.
But say if I'm 100, okay, which wouldn't be out of the question if I stayed on dairy, and I kept on eating meat pies. So, I'm a seventh. So a seventh of, say, 140 litres. I don't know what that is. 20 litres.
No, I don't know.
20 litres, okay. And if I tried to drink 20 litres in one sitting or even in a day, what would happen is that water would flood my blood vessels, flood my red blood corpuscles. They would expand and actually explode. That's what would happen to us humans if we tried to do...
It's like an internal drowning, right?
Well, worse than that.
Yeah, right.
It's actually worse than that. Yes, exploding blood corpuscles is not a good look.
No.
It's really not a good look.
Just a word of warning, don't try it at home.
All right, so, but what the camel actually has an amazing red blood corpuscle that is sort of elongated in shape,
Like
and oval sort of shape, yeah. And it also has a curve to it, a natural sort of curve. And when the blood vessels get flooded with all this water, then the blood corpuscles can absorb this water, okay? And it will change shape to be able to suit that. So it's even to the molecular, down to that degree, the camels are designed for water retention.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what's incredible about it.
There's actually a really cool little animated video on YouTube. I think if you Google, like, YouTube something like, where does a camel store its water or something like that, there's this cool animation that shows the shape of the blood what are they called?
Blood corpuscles, blood corpuscles.
Yeah, the blood. The shape of the
The
blood.
red blood corpuscles.
Red blood cells, that's what I was trying to say. It shows the shape of the shape of those and how the camel actually retains water. It's a really cool little animation, actually, and I highly recommend.
Can you put up the link?
Yeah, I will actually. I'll link it in the show notes. So
Excellent.
You can just head over to our blog that's linked below wherever you're listening, and go and watch that video.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Highly recommend you watch that. It's really, really fascinating. So going back to domesticated situations, like most camels will drink daily, depending on the season and the temperature and everything like that. Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, if you're not planning on big trips with your camels, I mean, that's probably okay, unless otherwise noted. But the camel, I think an important thing to remember is the camel is designed for water retention. So I don't know 100% if a camel drinking daily is healthy for them.
Okay, can I answer that? Because it's okay.
Yeah.
But, and here's the gold nugget, okay? Make sure that you have loose salt available for the camel to munch on. The camels need salt.
And because that helps the retention of water
That's
and
right.
fat and everything.
It changes their body around.
That's a whole vet talk that we've got.
Yeah, it's most essential. That loose salt, not salt blocks. Forget about those things. Don't worry about it. Just go down to your pool shop even and just get ordinary sodium chloride, which is just a loose pool salt, that you put into saltwater pools, because that's all it is. It's only salt. It's the same stuff.
Salt granules.
And make sure it's got no iodine in it and all that sort of, all the additives are just plain salt. And have a little bit in a bucket, and make sure that's replenished, so there's always something there. But the camels need to have that salt, and this is to do with the water, in particular.
Yeah. Going back to also just having that talk with our resident vet Margie in our Cameleer Academy. She's on and on. Camels are designed for retention, and if one thing's not working, something else is going to stop working too. Yeah. So this balance is so essential. Yeah, it's amazing. It's very holistic, actually. Camel care, very, very holistic, and very very not advanced, but advanced. Like if you got to get it kind of all right, so everything's working in the perfect order. So
you got to have a real global view on them. I mean, this is something that I was always one of these people that just stick them in a paddock. They're a real tough animal. That'll be fine. They'll be great.
They're not tough animals. If they're taken out of their natural environment, they are not tough animals.
Actually, a lot more sensitive than what I realised.
Incredibly sensitive. And that's why it's our responsibility as camel owners and lovers and whatever to get the right information and the right care for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Well done.
Well,
great question.
Yeah, we loved that so much, and we loved answering it. It was kind of a bit nerdy there.
I felt a bit nerdy. I felt like I was
some big $5 words coming out.
Well, I almost felt like I was Doctor. What's his name on the?
Oz, Dr. Oz.
Not Dr. Oz. God, what's
Dr.
his
Harry.
No, he answers all the questions, the scientific questions.
Carl.
Dr. Carl
on Triple J.
Yeah, that's a radio station here in Australia, and this doctor, I don't know if he's a doctor. I suppose he is a doctor. He'd be a doctor of something anyway, physics or something, or science or maths or whatever, or medicine. But people ask really, really, really in-depth scientific questions, like, how hot is it in the centre of the sun, and why is that so? And he actually comes up with an answer.
Yeah, we don't know if it's true or not. But
Well, he's actually come up with a couple of things which I was sort of, I'm going to investigate this a bit further, just to make sure. But yeah, it did feel a bit like that. Thanks, guys.
But for you guys listening, we've done years and years and years of practice and research on this, so I'm pretty sure that our information is correct.
I'm not going to call myself a doctor.
No, we're not doctors. We are camel owners, though.
Yeah.
We hope you got lots of value from this. Share it with anybody who you think might gain value from this. And also, if you have a camel question, don't forget to head over to our website, camelconnection.com, and find the camel question box and click on it and ask your camel question.
Absolutely. Keep us busy. That's what we like doing.
Keep us busy. All right. We'll catch you on the next one.
Righto. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. If you found this Camel Q&A helpful, please let us know. Leave a review wherever you're listening from.
Do you have a camel question for us? Head over to camelconnection.com to ask your camel question now.